My name is Shilpa. With inclusivity as a growing mantra in organizations, it is also important to think about what are the scaffolding and supporting structures needed to make this inclusivity possible. And there are various forms of inclusivity. But what we want to look at today is particularly women, new mothers who are returning to the workforce. We probably know enough stories, either through news or just by being part of an organization where women have been discriminated against for just getting pregnant, for needing maternity leave, for having very special needs for that special season of their life, as if that's a mistake, as if that's a problem, and as if that's not okay. So let's talk a little bit about what does that look like for new mothers returning to work, and what can organizations do and be like to make this transition really easy and not such a guilt-inducing trip. Yeah. So for that, we have today with us Dr. Ratna Isaac. Dr. Ratna Isaac, hi, we're so glad to have you with us today. Dr. Ratna is a psychotherapist, a supervisor, a trainer, and she's been doing this for the last 2 decades. She's also a writer, and at this point, she is co-writing a book with her colleagues from Nimhans and Tis on reflective practices in psychotherapy. So Dr. Ratna, again, thank you so much. This is a very important topic here, and here are 2 women in the workforce, and we happen to be 2 women who also had children. Yes. I understand that that doesn't have to be every woman's narrative, but it is a fairly dominant narrative in many a woman's life, right?
Yeah.
So when we have mothers, new mothers, first time, second time, whenever, returning to the workforce, what kind of challenges do they usually face in an organization?
Okay, so I'm going to start actually by talking about what kind of challenges they're facing in general. One of them, the first one, I think, as you might remember as well, is just physical tiredness.
Oh yeah.
You've not slept properly, all your energy is going usually into feeding the child. And what physical tiredness does and lack of sleep does is that it affects your attention concentration, it affects your processing speed, it affects your emotional bandwidth. So just the lack of sleep and the exhaustion, I think, which is quite prominent, especially in the early stages, that would be the first thing. The second is emotional challenges. So especially for new mothers who are going back into the workforce, you can feel guilt, you can feel worry, you can feel some amount of resentment, both for home and for work. And the general societal expectation or the messages that women get are that, if you don't spend time with your child, then you're actually selfish. A good mother will quit her job and prioritize the family.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
So that can be really difficult. And these are messages which all of us internalize, and then nobody actually wants to be a bad mother. At the same time, it is such a difficult choice to say either I have to be a mother or I have to be employed or do what I love or, have a life outside of that. So I think that push and pull internally itself can be quite hard. Interpersonal challenges are the next. Even apart from what women are telling themselves, you might also be hearing this message sometimes a little bit more strongly from the people around you. Whether it's your partner, your own mother, your in-laws, sometimes colleagues at work as well, or managers or superiors. So on the one side, you're hearing about how you're not doing enough as a mother. Oh, baby's looking so thin, ma. Not properly fed. On the other side, you go to work and you're hearing about how you're not doing enough at work. Oh, you came late for that meeting, you didn't attend that dinner, you're saying no to all the trips. So everywhere there's just this feeling of lack and not doing enough. And that can be really burdensome for the new mother. So what this ends up doing, like according to one study by a social development organization, 25% of first-time mothers in India quit their jobs.
Wow.
Now, and as it is, it's not like there are, I think only 25% of our workforce is female. The higher up you grow, the smaller that percentage becomes.
Right.
So if you're letting so many people quit, then that can be a real problem.
So it reminds me of that song. I don't know who the artist is, but she's saying, the lyrics go, I'm a bitch, I'm a mother, I'm a saint, I'm a lover. I mean, a woman seems to have to don all these hats, still be good at it, and still not be a...
Yeah, and still actually manage to do everything and then do it well. So yes, I think that's definitely... and the thing is, because the expectations are high, what it does is it leaves women constantly feeling inadequate. So there was this study done by Sharma and colleagues in 2019 on what are the stresses that new mothers experience in things. So lack of organizational support was one, lack of social support at home was two, but diffidence, feeling not confident or feeling like I'm not actually good enough, that was a big reason.
And that would be fed by the first two reasons as well, right? They would interplay with each other.
Yes.
So picking on that, do organizations see new mothers returning to work as a special population that requires special kind of support? Do they see that?
Well, broadly, yes, actually. Maternity leave, maternity benefits, like 6 months paid maternity leave is what our government stipulates. That's the law. And most companies, of course, do that. Beyond that, there are companies who've spoken about offering other forms of support as well. But a lot of that is left to the discretion of the company. Okay, so am I making creches available, or am I offering flexi time, or am I allowing new mothers a little bit more role flexibility, nursing, rooms where they can nurse their children. These are things which vary from company to company a fair amount.
So what can organizations intentionally do to provide this kind of scaffolding and support that they need?
Okay. So the first thing I think very importantly is the practical, instrumental, actual support. Okay. So this is the paid maternity leave, creches or subsidies for creches, the nursing spaces, job security. That's an important thing as well. No, that you need that if you're kind of feeling that. Work from home options, telecommunication, seeing can I shift to a role where the kind of unexpected, like the problem with the new mother is that problems are unexpected, right? So which can accommodate a little bit more unexpected events from happening. So those are some of the very instrumental things which can be done. The second thing is that they can offer problem-solving support. Okay, so no policy is going to sort of cover every eventuality or each person's thing, right? But if there is space, either with your immediate manager, with the HR, if there's space and if it's the policy that if you are returning to work, then we'll meet once in 2 weeks or once a month or something like that to say what's going on. What are the difficulties that you are having? Is there, what can we do for it? And not wait for the new mother to worry, to feel desperate enough, to think, can I ask, what are they going to think of me?
So be proactive.
Yes, so the organization can be proactive in saying we recognize that this is a difficult time. and we'll offer you problem solving support. That's something that's very useful as well. The third one is emotional support. So again, research has shown that like the attitude of the manager, your immediate manager towards this is key in how much work-family conflict a person experiences.
Okay.
And the amount of work-family conflict is one of the main reasons, like it predicts whether you stay in the job or not. Okay, so a supportive manager who understands and accommodates and helps you to manage the work-family conflict and builds maternal confidence. So maternal confidence is in your confidence in being a mother. So with the second child, third child, you're more confident in being a mother, you're less likely to quit. But the first child, where you also don't know what you're doing, that's a much more scary time. So where the manager can help to build that and actually support the reduce work-family conflict, that's when women are happiest, stay in their jobs and continue to work.
And do you think organizations can be supported in learning how to do this? Like there can be intentional trainings and programs on educating the HR or the decision makers or the managers who are directly working with the women to know how to hold that space for them.
Yes, I think that would be extremely useful. When a policy, like there are these, what is it called, a work support policy, family support policy, which some organizations and workplaces have, where there's official recognition that you are a family member, you will have dependents, whether it's right now we're talking about young children, but it might also be an aged parent, it could be so many, right? And that it is, the organization cares about these other roles of yours as well, and what are the policies that they have to support that. So organizations which have clear work support, family support policies, again, do better.
Much better. And it works in the favor of the organization, right? You treat your employee well, they will stay and they will commit and they will work well for you, right?
Yes, exactly.
So, Dr. Ratna, if there was one thing, one advice, one suggestion, one exhortation that you can leave with an organization as to how to create a space that's nurturing and supportive for a new mother employee returning to work, what might you tell them?
Suggest? So apart from the instrumental support, like because I said nothing is valuable if that's not in place, I think it's about creating a sort of non-judgmental atmosphere. So it's not only about looking after the mother, it's understanding the system. It includes educating other employees, maybe dispelling some myths or concerns that they may have. No, because often other people resent it because they feel, oh, you're getting benefits, I have to work. So that needs to be addressed as well. And I would say it actually includes taking paternity leave seriously. Because it's not just, one big way in which the stress on new mothers becomes less if new fathers are there to
support and help.
To support and help. So it needs to go beyond thinking just about your small silo or thing and seeing how we can change the culture of corporate organizations overall.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, that's key, a cultural shift, and it's not an easy one, but an imperative one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ratna, for sharing this with us.
Thank you.
This could possibly be a situation in your organization. So if you feel that you want some input on this, you want some help, we are here to do that for you. Please connect with us, talk to us, and we'll walk along with you.